Hello, Doomers, and welcome to Abandon Map 9. And this is a crazy cool map. I just finished beating this map in a single segment, and oh man, is this map wild. As you can see, we got 7,000 enemies. 7,000 of them. And they all have to be killed. But yeah, so what I like to do in this beginning is I like to rush over here and just try to kill these archviles from over here. This way you don't have to deal with the barons in the beginning. And what I like to do is kill these mancubus. Oh, also this is post commentary, by the way. I should probably say that. I like to press that switch through the floor there, or the wall. You can do that. What I like to do is just hide up here and wait for the pain elementals and try to kill them, because there is a lot of them, and it's really they're not easy to deal with. A lot of deaths happen right in this room. And one of the archviles I wasn't able to kill in the beginning, so it's still out there, which isn't a big deal as long as I'm aware of it. Yeah, I usually stay up here for a bit until I see like few pain elementals left. Then I'll jump down and kill the rest real quick. However, when you jump down, you're going to be low on space. And that's the archvile from the beginning. And all these specters here and stuff, it's super easy to die. You basically just want to get to the other side of this area. Just like this. And for this map, I had a notepad with all the kills I needed before leaving each area, because in this map, it seems to be sort of common. It's pretty uncommon, but it does happen, where enemies will get pushed off into areas like below the map. But every time that happened to me, I was able to still kill the enemy, like through rockets. But so that's why I just like keeping track of how many kills I need. And this beginning area, I leave with 380. And also, another deadly part of this area is that mastermind. It's really hard to kill, especially with all these revenants shooting at you and stuff. So what I like to do is try to kill those top revenants, or hope that they're infighting the mastermind. And try to kill the mastermind from this corner. Luckily, the revenants helped out this time, so I was able to kill pretty quickly. Alright, time for the next area, which isn't too bad. One of the easier areas of the map. Just gonna be a bunch of enemies spawning. What I like to do is just target the revenants, for the most part. Unless there's just a big horde of enemies that you can rocket. Alright, and this next part, it's parkour. And I thought it was insta-death if you fall down, but turns out there's actually a teleporter down there. So I use that to my advantage. And I was very surprised. It's like the only part I've ever seen parkour-wise have a teleporter. But anyways, once you press this button, you'll get some orange files spawning. And I just use this teleporter to get back quicker. And start rocking them. And the reason why I fight that area back down there is so that these archviles don't revive a bunch of cacodemon and just swarm up the whole area. Overall, it makes the fight easier. So it'll just revive a few things instead. And you should leave this area with... Whoa. I might have got rocketed there. You should leave this area with 559 kills. If you're doing what I'm doing. And clearing the beginning area too. Alright, now the two cyber demon in the beginning will teleport away into another arena. But we got another fight to go to. Now this fight is pretty... I really like this fight. It's definitely difficult because of how the enemies swarm you, but it's still just like... It feels like it's all up to you to make things right here, just by aggressing every pathway the enemies come and shooting at the imps every once in a while, just to get rid of them. And sometimes you'll see my rockets fly up when I shoot there. That's just killing the mancubus, which is also good. And this, you basically just want to hold this platform for as long as you can. And there is a cyber demon, so you gotta play this area by what the cyber demon does. If he rushes you immediately and is only targeting you, you're gonna want to get out as quick as possible. Right here, he was pretty scary. And I was trying to leave at this point, because I just don't want to get rocketed. But it was still too early. So I finally go for it, and I still go a bit early here, but the cyber demon made me be aggressive. You can't turn that corner because there's a bunch of archviles ready to kill you. So I just gotta head back to the beginning. I basically stay in these two areas the whole fight. Alright, now get the yellow key. Yeah, I tried to go in there just because it gives you an easier shot at the mancubus. But I missed the jump, so I wasn't gonna bother. Alright, and 747 is the amount of kills you should have at this point. Some little parkour there. There's a bunch of little parkour spots in this map. Alright, now this fight is probably one of the hardest fights, and luckily I found a skip for this one. Or not a skip, but a way to make it easier at least. So what I do is I kill this mastermind, And basically we're gonna try to skip a trigger to open the exit area without the monster spawning, because if you try to open the ending of this area with while triggering the enemies, you're gonna be body blocked and you're not gonna be able to do it. So what I do is I completely skip the trigger, and just like that. So what I did there is wait, I can't zoom in. Okay, well, if you go IDDT here, you see there is the trigger is, there's a little part where you can go right in between those walls there, and there you can just skip the trigger. But that button, it requires you to go fast, and because of that, you have like a, I find I miss it sometimes because you have to go quick and it's a very tight corridor. But if you do it correctly, you can sit in this room. You don't want to walk in the middle because that'll teleport you to the next area. Because this fight is insanely hard. I just had so much difficulty on this, and luckily I found a nice way to make it easier. Because there's so many arachnotrons in this fight, and it just takes one arachnotron to screw you over. And also, all the enemies spawn on where the health is. In this area, I target the arachnotrons the most, since they are the most deadly. And once I leave, I try to kill the arachnotrons up there because they do plenty of damage to you. So this room went pretty well this time, even with the skip. Alright, and then when you leave this area, you should have 1,044 kills. And you don't really need to pick up ammo because you'll get mandatory ammo right over here. Alright, now this fight. I found this fight actually surprisingly easy. I never died to this in a run. Which I cannot say about most fights in this map. But basically what I do is I aggress the Hell Knight side, and I try to push through the left here. And just try to stay here for a bit, circling around. One thing I do like about this fight is that every enemy is already spawned in, because most of the fights in this map, you just have enemies teleporting in for a long period of time, so the fights are pretty dragged out. But this one is every enemy's already spawned in. So basically I just train here until I see a good exit I can take to get to the other side. And then when I go to the other side, I try to kill as many pain elementals as I can. But as you can see, I had a trail of revenant missiles on me. Here, I'm just trying to press the button so I don't have to wait for it. That teleporter teleports you to the other side of the arena. But there's 3 buttons you gotta press, and each of them take a little bit of time to come down, so I just do it when I have some free time. And also, I like to save as many cells as I can in this fight, because the next fight is, in my opinion, the hardest fight of the map. Or actually, maybe not. Yeah, it's probably the hardest. It just goes on for so long, and you have plenty of megaspheres, but there's just so much stuff that can go wrong. I've had a lot of deaths. But anyways, coming in with a bunch of cells, the next arena helps. Pressing the switch. And usually at the end you're just left with revenants. Nice. Doesn't really matter what health you leave at, because you're gonna get a mandatory megasphere. But it's always nice to stay alive. Alright, pressing the final button, that'll lower the key, so we can exit. But we need 1,722 kills before we leave. So this pain elemental is the last one. And just getting the final cells. And it's time to go. Oh, you gotta watch out with those stairs, because sometimes it'll just like elliptical collision you. I almost died like that. But here's some parkour. I'm pretty sure there isn't a teleporter at the bottom. So if you fall here, you're dead. But it's pretty easy. As long as you take your time, you should have no issue. And there's the mandatory megasphere. And remember those two cyber demons that were in the beginning? Well, they get teleported here. Which is kind of strange, but I mean, they help with infighting. So what I would do is just try to get them out the corner so I can press the switch. And here is the big fight. So this fight lasts for a long time. You're given a good amount of cells, but not enough to just spam. So I basically just try to BFG when necessary, or just... I mean, that wasn't really necessary, but I just try to be cautious on my BFG use. Because enemies spawn in here forever. There's plenty of cyber demons. Also, if you fall in that pit, you instantly die. One problem I had in this area is going around that curvature. Sometimes a pain elemental will spawn there or something, and it will just block you, and you'll get hit by like a cyber demon missile or something. But in this run, I was doing really good on health. I was actually able to leave with a full megasphere, which never happens. But there's, I believe, 3 megaspheres you have to work with. And that's not including the mandatory one. But I usually get it once I go under 100 health. So like right now. And also the megaspheres, they're right on the monster spawner, so you gotta BFG your way to get them. Because they will keep spawning in. And if you get like multiple mancubuses, you're gonna have some issues. As you can see, I just grabbed them, already down 140. Oh, that dodge though. I remember that. Luckily we had a cyber demon in the perfect spot here. Just right in the best infighting spot possible. So I got pretty lucky on that. This room overall went really well. And towards the end of this room, you'll see me use rockets more. And that's so I can carry him to the next fight, which helps. There's like one small intermission fight before the finale, and that fight you kind of want to keep as much health as you can, so having cells helps you keep health. So at this point, I have 100 health, 100 armor, and 1 Megasphere left. So I was trying to save the Megasphere for next fight. So I'm still being cautious with my health just because I wanted to do that. And at this point, the main teleporter stopped spawning enemies, which is great. I just wanted to kill the cyber just so I didn't get rocketed. Although it could have definitely infighted more. You never know. And the final cyber demon of the fight. Also, there's lost souls, but they're from the other arena that I left in, where you get the BFG. So from here, it's just clean up. Press that switch to lower the blue keycard. I think it's blue. Yeah, it's blue. Then once you have the key card, press that. This will allow you to go to the next area. Now this part, I found some enemies can fall down. So it's pretty important to make sure you're at the right amount of kills around here. Because you can still kill them if they fall down. You just have to be aware. Alright, and at the end of this, we should have 3,217 kills. Alright, at this point, grab the extra Megasphere. And we saved 600 cells at a Megasphere. This fight went really well for this fight, or I mean for this map. Which allowed me to do good in the other arenas. So we got some parkour platforms up here. I did die on these once, and it was on stream, which was pretty upsetting. Well, not specifically those. But this fight isn't hard. However, you do want to save as much health as you can. So, just try to use some BFG. I already got hit a good amount. But I believe I don't get hit anymore. Besides, I guess that 1 HP. Yeah, basically I just try to target the Hell Knights there. But a few shots at the pinkies help. Alright, now, this jump right up here is actually a lot harder than it looks. Or you just have to line it up so you don't die, because that's the one I died on before. It's all the other jumps are easy, but that one's just like way harder than the rest for some reason. Alright, and once you leave this area, you should have 3,305 kills. And it's time for the final arena. This final arena is pretty cool. As you can see, there's a lot of kills left. I definitely think this final arena is easier than the last big fight. But you have to do a lot to get this far, so it's gonna be pretty nervous. And here I had so much health left, I was able to save this Megasphere for a bit, which helped out a lot, especially because I got hit a lot. But basically, you're gonna have 4 Cyber Demons, and they're gonna be in cages at first, and they could randomly shoot you. You can see there's rockets coming down. If that happens, you're in big trouble. So here, I was a bit risky. I didn't even grab the Megasphere yet. I went through one more time, which could have easily killed me, especially with all those Rev missiles. But I was still able to grab it. And I really shouldn't have pushed through another time, but it still worked out. So there's 2 supercharges after those Megaspheres that you're given, but no more armor. What I like to do is stick on a side. I go on the Hell Knight side first, because there's Hell Knights up above instead of Revenants, so it's easier to deal with. In this room I actually had just enough ammo to leave. Like, I ran out of ammo at the end, which was pretty scary. So you do want to be a bit cautious. So there's only cells in the middle and on right where I just grabbed, and on the other side. So here I'm trying to push through. I could have died there, especially that Cyber Demon didn't get stunned. Luckily it did. Saved my life. Now we're on the Revenant side, which is more deadly. And basically, at this point, I just want to kill the Cyber Demons as quick as possible. They do help with killing the imps, but at this point, I just don't want to get rocketed. I was gonna go to the other side, but that Cyber Demon immediately started shooting at me. Also, I was very low on ammo here, so I had to go to the middle. Alright, 2 Sire Demons left. And I only want to grab ammo from the middle at this point. Now at this point, the most dangerous thing are the Revenants. So after I killed a good chunk of these missing or just wandering imps, I go wait for them. Yeah, it's still easy to die here because all these missiles. And I should have cleared those imps right there because they almost got me killed eventually. At this point, I felt really low on health, and with all these Revenant missiles chasing me. Oh yeah, I was so lucky to not die there. I'm honestly unsure how the Revenant missiles missed me. So that scared me enough to grab the supercharge, which I usually save for after. For the Archviles. Just want to make sure all these Revenants are dead. They also have a Megasphere up there. Right now, I could have waited to kill these Hell Knights, but I just decided against it for some reason. It's just more important you kill the Revenants before leading out the Archviles. But I think I just only do that And now, time for the arch files. So you want to be very careful here. There's 8 arch files on each side, and once you press the button, both of them will open up. But what I do is I just use rockets until they get close. Because one time I tried to peek with a BFG in a run, and I got triple arch filed immediately to my death, which was really unfortunate. Especially because it could have been so easily prevented. There's the megasphere. And final 8 arch files over here. Luckily they can't really revive anything besides imps. Because this arena is just only imps. Alright, and I was gonna take that teleporter, but I wasn't 100% sure if it teleported me on the left or right side. And if it teleported me on the right side, I would have just instantly died. So I didn't really want to risk it at this point. And at this point, this is all the ammo I have. Which I cut it really close. And this is the final enemies. So at this point I practically won. But I did lose a lot of time because I had a shotgun at the end. But it's not a big deal. But yeah, this is a really cool map. It's very entertaining to play. And I'm finally happy to get a demo on this. Some really interesting fights on this. Especially this final fight. So, once we get both those keys, take the teleporter. For this switch, you need all 3 key cards. And then we can exit. Well, bam! And there it is. Celestial Petrichor. Done in 45 minutes and 54 seconds. So yeah, really cool map. Next is map 10, which I've heard is really hard, so I'll see what I can do on that one. So yeah, that will be description, and thank you guys for watching.